Charlotte held the crystal vase with trembling hands as Isabel screamed. The shards on the floor reflected the chandelier's light, scattering golden fragments across the marble. Every staff member in the mansion witnessed yet another public humiliation. But from the top of the staircase, someone watched silently. Someone who would never forget that moment. Before we dive deeper into this story, let me ask you something. Where are you watching from right now? It's amazing to see how far these stories travel. If this one touches your heart, don't forget to subscribe and activate notifications. Here, you'll find stories of redemption, emotional twists, and proof that kindness always wins. Charlotte Mendez, 23, woke up every day at 5 a.m. in the tiny studio behind the Winter Garden estate. She had been working as a maid there for 2 years, and her routine never changed. Prepare breakfast, clean every room in the 5,000-square-foot house, serve meals, do laundry, and endure daily humiliation from Mrs. Isabel. The mistress of the house turned cruelty into an art. Wealthy by inheritance and arrogant by choice, Isabel Thompson found pleasure in reminding Charlotte of her place in the social ladder. To her, kindness toward staff was a sign of weakness. That Tuesday morning, Charlotte was carrying a silver tray with breakfast when she tripped on the Persian rug in the living room. The Czech crystal vase, worth over $1,000, fell and shattered on the marble floor. "You clumsy girl!" Isabel shouted, storming down the stairs like a fury. "You broke my favorite vase!" Charlotte immediately dropped to her knees, picking up the shards with her bare hands, ignoring the tiny cuts forming on her fingers. "I'm so sorry, Mrs. Isabel. It was an accident. I'll pay for the damage." "Pay?" Isabel scoffed. "With what money? That vase costs more than your entire monthly salary." Mr. Joseph, the 60-year-old gardener, and Miss Mary, the cook, watched the scene from the kitchen door, clearly uncomfortable. They knew Charlotte to be hard-working and honest. She sent half her salary to pay for her grandmother's nursing home. "Everyone can see how useless you are," Isabel continued, raising her voice so the staff could hear. "You can't even carry a tray properly." From the top of the marble staircase, someone observed in silence. Ryan Thompson, 28, had returned from Paris just 5 days ago after living abroad for 5 years, studying business and working in a consulting firm. The only son of the family, he came back to Florida to take over the family business after his father's sudden death. What Ryan was witnessing disturbed him deeply. His mother had always been demanding, but this was cruelty. Charlotte picked up the last pieces, her hands streaked with blood. Isabel followed her into the kitchen, eager to prolong the humiliation. "And one more thing," the woman snapped. "From now on, you'll be working Sundays, too. No more days off." "But Mrs. Isabel," Charlotte's voice cracked. "Sunday is the only day I get to visit my grandmother." "Your grandmother?" Isabel laughed coldly. "If she's in a nursing home, it's probably because she was useless, just like you." The words stabbed Charlotte in the heart. Her grandmother, Antonia, had raised her alone after her parents died in a car crash. She was all Charlotte had left. "Please don't speak about my grandma like that." "I'll say whatever I want. This is my house. You work for me. If you don't like it, find another job." At that moment, Ryan stepped down the stairs, unable to watch another second of that cruelty. "Good morning, Mother," he said, entering the kitchen with a serious expression. Isabel quickly changed her tone, forcing a maternal smile. "Ryan, darling, I was just sorting out a few house issues. Charlotte, bring fresh coffee for my son." Charlotte discreetly wiped away her tears and prepared the coffee using one of the fine English porcelain cups. Her hands were still shaking. "Thank you," Ryan said, looking her in the eyes. For the first time in 2 years, someone in that household treated her like a human being. Over the next few days, Ryan observed the household dynamics. Charlotte worked tirelessly, polite, efficient, yet constantly demeaned by his mother's venomous remarks. One morning, he went down early and found Charlotte watering the ornamental plants in the back garden, humming softly. "Good morning," he said, approaching her. Charlotte jumped slightly, almost dropping the watering can. "Good morning, Mr. Ryan. You're up early today." "You can just call me Ryan," he replied, watching how she cared for the plants. "Do you like gardening?" She hesitated, not used to casual conversations with her employers. "Yes, my grandmother always had a small garden. She taught me that plants need love to bloom." "You must miss her a lot." Tears welled up in Charlotte's eyes again. "I do, especially now that I work 7 days a week." Ryan understood. His mother had revoked Charlotte's only day off out of sheer cruelty. "What kind of flowers does your grandmother love most?" "White roses," she said, smiling softly. "She says they symbolize new beginnings and hope." That afternoon, he left the house and returned with 3 white rose plants. He found Charlotte folding laundry in the service area. "A gift," he said, handing her the flowers. Charlotte's eyes widened in disbelief. "Mr. Ryan, I can't accept these." "Why not?" "Your mother won't like this." "She doesn't need to know everything." Charlotte held the plants delicately, as if they were made of glass. "Thank you so much. I'll plant them in the back where no one can see." "Why not plant them out front? Let everyone enjoy their beauty." "No, please. Mrs. Isabel would be furious." "Leave my mother to me." The next morning, Isabel discovered the white roses planted at the mansion's main entrance. She exploded with rage. "Who had the audacity to touch my garden without permission?" she roared, summoning all the staff. Charlotte stepped forward, trembling. "It was me, Mrs. Isabel." "How dare you? You're just a maid. Who do you think you are, messing with my home? Rit those flowers out immediately." "The roses stay right where they are," Ryan said, entering the room. Isabel turned, stunned. "What?" "I asked Charlotte to plant those roses. They're not going anywhere." "Son, you don't understand. This girl needs to learn her place." "Her place is wherever she chooses," Ryan replied firmly. "Enough shouting. I won't tolerate any more disrespect toward Charlotte or anyone in this house." Isabel was speechless. In 28 years, she had never seen her son stand up to her like that. "You can't be serious." "I'm completely serious. Starting today, Charlotte gets her Sundays off again, and you will treat her with the dignity every human being deserves." Charlotte couldn't believe her ears. Someone was standing up for her, publicly. "Ryan, your father didn't raise you to be soft with the staff. He raised me to be fair, and Charlotte isn't just a maid. She's a person who deserves respect." Charlotte stormed out of the room, humiliated. Ryan approached Charlotte, who was still stunned. "Are you okay?" "Thank you," she whispered. "No one has ever defended me like that before." "They shouldn't have to, but you never deserved any of this." In the following days, the mansion's atmosphere shifted. Humbled by her son's intervention, Isabel toned down her humiliations. Charlotte worked with more ease, and Ryan frequently joined her for breakfast chats. "Tell me more about your grandmother," he asked one sunny morning. She smiled, her first genuine smile in a long time. "Miss Antonia is amazing. She worked as a seamstress all her life to raise me after my parents died. When she got sick, putting her in a nursing home was the hardest thing I ever had to do. But she understands. She always says she's proud of the woman I've become." "She has every reason to be. You're a remarkable person, Charlotte." She blushed. "You hardly know me." "I know enough. I see how you treat this home, these plants, even the people who mistreat you, with care and patience. That says a lot." Charlotte felt something stir inside her. Never had she imagined someone in the Thompson family would see her, truly see her. "Can I ask something personal?" she said, hesitant. "Of course. Why did you really come back from Paris? You must have had a great life there." Ryan exhaled. "I came back because my father passed and someone had to take care of the business. But truth be told, Paris never felt like home. Something important was always missing." He looked at her with intensity. "And now, I think I'm starting to understand what that something was." That Sunday, Charlotte finally visited her grandmother again. She returned radiant, her energy renewed. Ryan waited for her in the garden. "How was your visit?" "Wonderful!" Charlotte beamed. "I told Grandma about the white roses. She got emotional, said white flowers mean better times are coming." "Your grandmother is very wise." Charlotte hesitated, then gathered courage. "May I ask a special favor?" "Anything." "I'd love for you to meet her. She loves meeting new people, and I think you two would really get along." "I would be honored." The next week, they visited St. Francis' home, where Ms. Antonia lived. The 75-year-old greeted them with contagious joy. "So you're the young man who defended my Charlotte and planted roses in the madam's garden?" she asked, teasing. "That's me," Ryan chuckled. "She says you treat her with respect. That's rare these days, especially across class lines." "Charlotte is extraordinary. Anyone should treat her with kindness." Ms. Antonia studied him with knowing eyes. "You like my granddaughter, don't you?" Ryan blushed, but didn't deny it. "She's special." "And you, girl," the grandmother turned to Charlotte. "What do you think of him?" Charlotte turned red as a tomato. "Grandma, answer honestly. Do you two truly care for each other?" Ryan and Charlotte exchanged looks. They couldn't pretend anymore. "Yes," Ryan said, "I've completely fallen for her." Charlotte took a deep breath. "And I for him." Miss Antonia clapped joyfully. "Then stop hiding it." "But it's complicated, Grandma." "Nonsense," the old woman said firmly. "True love doesn't care about class, race, or money." On the way home, they walked in silence. Then Ryan stopped. "She's completely right. I can't keep pretending that what I feel for you is just friendship." Charlotte's heart raced. "Charlotte, before it's too late, I love you. You've changed everything in me." She stepped forward and kissed him softly. "I love you too." When they got back, Isabel was waiting with a furious expression. A nosy neighbor had seen them kissing. "This is unacceptable," she exploded. "Ryan, have you lost your mind?" "I love Charlotte, and she loves me. That's all that matters. She's a maid, a gold digger." "Enough," Ryan roared for the first time. "Charlotte is more honest, hard-working, and decent than most people in our class, including you. How dare you compare me to a maid?" "If you keep this up, we're leaving today," he said, holding Charlotte's hand. Isabel turned pale. She hadn't expected such defiance. "Ryan, I only have you." "And Charlotte is the love of my life. If you can't accept that, it's your loss." Realizing she might lose her son forever, Isabel changed her tone. "Fine," she muttered. "If you truly love each other, I'll try to accept it." "We don't want tolerance," Ryan said. "We want mutual respect." "You're right. From now on, Charlotte will be treated as my daughter-in-law and respected as such." Charlotte could barely believe the change. 6 months later, Ryan and Charlotte married in an intimate, emotional ceremony. Miss Antonia sat in the front row, proud and glowing. Charlotte now ran the mansion, not as a maid, but as the lady of the house. Ryan took full charge of the family business. Isabel, witnessing her son's genuine happiness, gradually warmed up to Charlotte, even apologizing for the past and developing real affection. "You know," Isabel said one afternoon as they watered the roses together, "I think my son was right all along. You really are special." Charlotte smiled warmly. "Thank you for giving me a second chance and for making your son as happy as he deserves to be." In the mansion garden, the white roses bloomed gloriously, filling the air with hope and beauty. Charlotte, once cruelly humiliated in that very place, now walked with grace, not just as the mistress of the house, but as a woman deeply loved and truly respected. Because sometimes all a story needs to change is someone brave enough to love beyond appearances.